Every moment of every day, billions of thoughts cascade through human minds across the globe. These invisible currents of consciousness shape our reality in ways both profound and subtle, creating the very fabric of our experiences, our relationships, and our world. But thinking is not neutral. Like fire, it can illuminate and warm, or it can burn and destroy. Within the theater of your mind, two distinct types of thinking compete for the spotlight. The first is constructive thinking, deliberate, purposeful, and aligned with your deeper wisdom. This is the thinking that builds bridges, solves problems, and creates beauty. It operates like a skilled architect, carefully designing solutions that serve not just immediate needs, but long-term flourishing. Constructive thinking asks, how can I understand this better? What would serve the highest good? What am I not seeing? It approaches challenges with curiosity rather than judgment, with openness rather than defensiveness. The second type is reactive thinking, the mental chatter that runs on autopilot, driven by fear, habit, and unconscious conditioning. This thinking creates stories about why things are wrong, who's to blame, and what terrible things might happen. It operates like a broken alarm system, constantly alerting us to dangers that often don't exist. Good thinking transforms obstacles into opportunities. Consider the scientist who, faced with a failed experiment, doesn't think, I'm a failure, but rather, what is this result trying to teach me? This shift in thinking has led to countless breakthroughs. From post-it notes to penicillin. In relationships, constructive thinking asks, how can I understand their perspective? Rather than, how can I prove I'm right? It seeks connection over being correct, understanding over being understood. When we think well, we become architects of possibility. We see patterns where others see chaos, solutions where others see only problems, and potential where others see only limitations. But thinking can also become our prison. The same mental faculty that can solve complex equations and compose symphonies can trap us in cycles of worry, self-doubt, and endless analysis. Bad thinking creates what psychologists call thought loops, repetitive patterns that lead nowhere productive. The anxious mind rehearses disasters that may never happen. The depressed mind replays failures from the past. The angry mind constructs elaborate justifications for resentment. These patterns don't just feel bad, they literally reshape our brains. Neuroscience shows us that thoughts carve neural pathways, and the paths we travel most become superhighways. Think anxiously for long enough, and anxiety becomes your default mode. Think critically about others, and criticism becomes your lens for viewing the world. Here lies the key insight. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that observes them. Just as a scientist steps back to observe an experiment, you can step back to observe your thinking. This shift from being caught in thought to witnessing thought changes everything. When you observe your thinking patterns, you begin to see which ones serve you and which ones sabotage you. You start to recognize the difference between thoughts that arise from wisdom and thoughts that arise from old wounds, between insights and mental noise. Transforming the quality of your thinking requires practice, like developing any other skill. It begins with awareness, simply noticing when your mind has been hijacked by unproductive patterns. Ask yourself, is this thinking helping me or hurting me? Is it based on reality or on fear? Is it moving me toward what I want to create or keeping me stuck in what I want to avoid? The goal isn't to eliminate difficult thoughts. That's impossible and unnecessary. The goal is to choose which thoughts deserve your attention and energy, and which ones you can acknowledge and let pass by. The way you think doesn't just affect you, it ripples out into every interaction, every decision, every creation. When you think with clarity and wisdom, you become a source of solutions rather than problems, of calm rather than chaos, of possibility rather than limitation. Your thinking shapes not only your personal reality but contributes to the collective consciousness of humanity. In a world often dominated by reactive thinking, by fear, division, and judgment, choosing to think constructively becomes a radical act of service. Every moment offers the same fundamental choice. Will you let your thinking run on autopilot, or will you take conscious responsibility for the quality of your thoughts? This choice, made thousands of times each day, determines whether your mind becomes your greatest ally or your most persistent enemy. It determines whether you contribute to the problems of the world or become part of their solution. Your thoughts have power. Use them wisely. The quality of your life, and ultimately the quality of our world, depends on how consciously you choose to think.